We are live. What is up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Part 3 of this Major League Baseball Sports Talk series, ladies and gentlemen. Man, so last time we came on here, man, we talked about some of these baseball teams that were on the rise, teams that were going to fall off. And man, some of these teams that we thought were going to fall off, man, they went on the win streak. Just when we thought that the team was done, man, they pulled us back into that bandwagon, man. And one of those teams, man, that went on a crazy win streak, man, is going to be the Atlanta Braves, right? So after we made that video, man, for some reason Atlanta just refuses to lose. Yeah, I mean, they beat the Red Sox, they beat the Marlins, man, but huge wins against the New York Mets. They beat the Astros today, so it just goes to show how streaky of a sport baseball is, man, that we gave the reasons why Atlanta might be a team that might be falling off with Ian Anderson getting sent down to the minors. But, we're going to find out about some of these baseball teams in the last 2 months of baseball. I think there's like 44 games left. So Atlanta's a team that we were selling last time, but now all of a sudden, we want to buy a little bit back on Atlanta, man, because they look really impressive. They play with swag, man. They play with a lot of confidence. They have that pitcher, Strider. It's not afraid, man. He talked a lot of shit to the Mets. So, we'll see what happens in Major League Baseball, man. Like I mentioned, last month and a half, the final push. I'm going to have like a little bit better idea when it gets down to the playoffs, see what's going to happen. Last year we did that playoff preview. We had the Astros and the Giants in the World Series. We hit one team. So hopefully this year we can have a little bit better luck. And if you guys aren't following this channel, 2020, we did an MLB season preview, and we had the Dodgers and the Tampa Bay Rays going to the World Series before the year even began on that bubble year. So, we've had good success on this channel with these picks, but, we have to stay humble, man, also. And a team that is being humbled is going to be the LA Dodgers, man. The injuries on the Dodgers are a big concern. We came on here last time, talking a bunch of shit about it's their pennant, it's their year. But huge news, man, for Walker Buehler. He's done for the season. He was a pitcher that I was counting on to come back, the ace of the team, right? Man, all of a sudden, the pitching staff has been great all year long, right? We talked about Mark Pryor doing a great job with these pitchers, these jobber pitchers, man. Pitchers like Tyler Anderson, who, 29 wins, 42 losses before this year. All of a sudden, he's 13-2. Will he hold up in the playoffs, though, right? Because now, no more Walker Buehler. Now you're going to have to probably use your 2 and 3 starters as aces. I don't know. I mean, people online, they think everything's good in Dodger world, but I don't know, man. I see some weaknesses in this Dodgers pitching staff because of these injuries, man. And some of these teams they're going to be facing in the playoffs, they're going to be very hungry to win, right? Like the Mets, the Braves, reigning World Series champions. They're going to be a tough out. Also, the Dodgers are counting on Clayton Kershaw coming back to being like an elite form, Cy Young type of form. But we saw last year, man, in the playoffs, he went down, right? Can you count on that? I don't know. I don't know if you can count on Clayton Kershaw, man. He's a great pitcher, man. We all know about his stats, but Clayton Kershaw has had some wars in the playoffs, man. Right there on the screen is going to be all his numbers for the postseason. A lot of stressful innings, The Dodgers should have had 2 rings by now, but they've choked a little bit in the playoffs, right? We shall see what happens with the Dodgers going forward. They're going to talk about Dustin May returning tomorrow, actually, pitching against Miami. So that's a huge boost for the Dodgers. But we've seen some of these pitchers come back from injury, like a Lance McCullers. They have a very good outing the very first time they're back. But today, Lance McCullers gave up some huge hits. The curveball wasn't really that effective. So, let's hold our brakes a little bit on the Dodgers. Like I'm mentioning, let's see what happens in this last month and a half of baseball games, because the team that is on the rise, we talked about this team last time. They have these 3 great pitchers on the screen, man, and they've been putting big numbers, man. So since July, this was a couple of days ago, actually. So since July, the top 4 pitchers are all Mets, man. I mean, 3 of the top 4 pitchers in baseball are all Mets. The rotation has a 2.37 ERA. They don't walk a lot of hitters. They strike out a lot of hitters. The lineup on the Mets, though, is going to be a little bit weak. So all these teams, man, have weaknesses. They have strengths. Let's just see what happens in this last coming baseball games, man. And this guy's going to be a monster in the playoffs, man. He's going to have his team motivated to play. He wants to win. You know, it's going to be great, man. As a baseball fan, the last stretch of baseball, it's going to be great to watch. A lot of storylines. And all that good stuff, man. Moving right along, man. Start talking about storylines, man. A team that had that storyline this year, right? Got out to a historic start, 50-win team, like the fourth or fifth fastest baseball team in history to win 50 baseball games. And man, this team just cannot find the W. All right, they lost again today to Toronto Blue Jays. We'll get into Toronto a little bit. I want to talk about this Yankees ball club, man. I want to talk about this Yankees offense. The pitching is still holding up for the Yankees, but the offense, man, has hit a wall. They cannot get past that wall. I have no idea what's happening with this team, except they're pressing. They're trying to get out of the slump. It's like they think that they can do it, and they want to like get past these steps. But I think you have to like take it back and go back to like the basics of baseball, man. This team tries to hit way too many home runs, and everyone knows it. Right? Why not choke off on the bat, put the ball in play, and see what happens, man? The last thing you want to do is go slump busting. But I think it's going to take a slump bust to get the Yankees out of the this what they're in, man. Shout out to Mark Grace, man, for that slump busting. If you guys don't know about slump busting, check it out on a little YouTube search. So the frustrations on the Yankees have taken a toll, man. We saw Rizzo go crazy, getting a bad call at plate, losing his cool, just like Aaron Boone. Ah, man, it sucks for New York, man, because they had that huge win a couple days ago, man. Walk-off grand slam, huge win. Everyone thought that their season was going to be turned around, but here comes Toronto into town. They won the first two ball games. Tomorrow for the Yankees, they have Garrett Cole throwing on the mound. It's going to be a huge game tomorrow for the Yankees, man. I expect the Yankees to win tomorrow, all right? I expect them to win. I think, man, I don't know. No, this is a team that I sold last week. I want no part of them, right? But in this American League this year, man, I see a lot of weaknesses across the board with Houston, with Seattle, with Tampa Bay, with Toronto. A lot of weaknesses across the board in the American League that this team is still not out of it, man. They've been playing like shit. But if they could somehow get that offense going, the pitching staff has been great for them. The bullpen's been kind of shaky though of late. But all these teams in the American League got weaknesses, man. We saw Yordan Alvarez go down with the injury today, or the shortness of breath. Hopefully he's all right. Michael Brantley for the Astros is gone for the year. So it's not a set in stone AL pennant for Houston, man. This team, we'll see what happens in this last 2 months of baseball, man. They're still in first place, man. They're like 9 games up on their next rival in the American League East. Yeah, if they don't get the 1 seed, they're still going to be a first round bye and all that good stuff. So, let's see what happens with the Yankees, man. I came last time, like I mentioned, selling. But let's hold off on the sale, and we'll give this team a second chance, man. Talking about second chances, gentlemen. Wanted to get into this Tatis situation very briefly. Don't want to make this too long of a video, but as you guys know, I'm based out of San Diego, and a lot of people came and asked me what I thought about Tatis and all this stuff, and I kind of held my thoughts about it. Wanted to get all the story and everything that's been going on, and like my final conclusion on Tatis is like, number one, he's never going to be a Hall of Famer ever. So if you guys collect Tatis cards and high-end cards, and I've seen people spend thousands of dollars on rookie auto patch, serial number cards, Gentlemen, I feel bad for you guys because this guy can hit 1,000 home runs. He'll never be in the Hall of Fame. He's at such a young age. You know, the pattern on this player is concerning, man. We saw the GM kind of call him out. What does the future hold for Tatis, man? Do I think he's going to be a Padre when he returns in 2024? I don't know, man. I think his days in San Diego might be numbered because he's going to have missed so much time. And they got Juan Soto also win that trade. That trade for Juan Soto is also kind of weird, right? Because it's probably going to go down as one of the worst trades in baseball history. And how convenient that like they got Juan Soto and they eliminated Tatis, right? Who knows, right? That's just like kind of a crazy theory, right? But the Soto trade, then Tatis is gone. It's interesting. So like I'm mentioning, man, there's all kinds of memes for Tatis. Who knows, man, what his future holds in San Diego? Honestly, I'm leaning towards him being on a new baseball team, fresh, view when he comes back. That's my opinion right now. If you were to ask me, what's the future holds for Tatis? The pattern is there of you can't trust this guy. You paid this guy so much money at such a young age, and that is probably going to be a lesson in baseball going forward of you got to be careful who you give these contracts to, man, because now this player's so rich. He's got so much guaranteed money that does he even care about what he did? He's going to get paid like $300 million. So, as a sports fan, we care much more about this situation than maybe he does, right? So Juan Soto's a Padre, man. Probably the most lopsided trade in baseball history, man. The Nationals got back one starting player with Luke Voigt. Oh, man. Who knows what the heck happened with this trade? Who knows if even baseball's on this trade, right? Just a lot of crazy theory, man. A lot of things that make you wonder. And the excuse that he gave, man, was such a bad excuse that he got a infection, a fungal infection. It's just a bad look, man. So here in San Diego, they've already been sending out the 2023 season ticket stuff. Tatis is not on anything, man. The Padres have eliminated Tatis from all their marketing, all their media for next year, which is why I'm kind of mentioning that he might be done in San Diego. We saw Clevenger kind of talk about that, the clubhouse is good without him. It's Clevenger, though, right? So who knows, man? Maybe Juan Soto replaces Tatis. They're not going to pay Machado, Tatis, and Soto, right? One of those guys is going to be gone. Could be Tatis. Whew. All right, gentlemen, so that's pretty much the video. Just wanted to give my thoughts very quickly on Major League Baseball, what I'm seeing right now, what I'm liking. And I'm not going to talk about the playoffs because it's way too early. Talked about that in the last two videos, but man, these baseball standings, everything is changing by the week. So I'll keep you guys posted. We'll try to find the World Series matchup and all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you guys later.